Welcome to the Zoom with the club. I'm the host, Mo McCoy, and I'm joined by Faith, Matthew, and Heather. What's up, everybody?
Hello.
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 Yeah, so we want to pick up from last week. We had a great conversation about class, and um, we left off around talking about different things or ways we could promote the club or build the brand, the club. So let's go. Let's give our thoughts on that a little more for our last 15 minutes.
Are you guys able to hear Mo? You froze on my
No,
No, I
I'm
screen.
think
what?
it froze on his end. And
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me now? Everybody's frozen. How much of that did you guys hear?
just the intro, and then it completely cut out.
Okay. Well, let's just pick up from talking about the club. So we'll go with the same order as we started with.
See,
I think
frozen.
he froze again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I frozen?
I wonder if I'm in trouble, we could do videos. There you are. Hi, Mo.
You keep
He's
Still
like
here.
coming
freezing.
in.
Okay, well go ahead and get started and even if I'm frozen because it's recording.
All right. Who's gonna go first?
Okay, and we're just discussing what Faith said, right?
Yeah, you can discuss like what, you learned up to this point, how you yeah, how you feel like this activity even has been helpful.
Okay, so I'll go on about how I felt this activity was helpful. This activity was helpful to me because it was just clearly pointing out how every part of a brand is important, down to the imagery, to the colors, and even the tone of voice that you use. Because if you're going to create, let's say, a neighborhood friendly brand, you don't want to necessarily go with, maybe bright colors such as red with, uh, with serif fonts. You're probably going to want to choose something more of like a cool blue, with sans serif fonts, taking on the more friendly neighborhood demeanor. So this project's really opened my eyes to that fact, that when you're creating a brand, you have to take everything into account. And just how an astrophysicist, when they look at every detail of something, that's what we have to do as designers. There has to be a reason behind every single one of our design choices, whether it's in the typography, the color, the imagery. It all has to work together. So that's how this most recent activity really helped me, was just knowing that every component needs to work together.
Yeah, for sure. I just finished the assignment that's like the research assignment, not the vision board yet, but I can agree, like after even reading through Meg's and Jurisec and just the lecture, like knowing how like each element piggybacks off one another in order
Mhm.
to create like a harmonious design. And it's very important to like lay that out beforehand. So that's why I'm actually excited to do the vision boards this week, just to see, okay, how specific you really need to be. Because with this look and feel style sheet, I feel like I wasn't it was very broad. Like I just now realize, okay, how like much more detail I have to put into it, because in the long run, that's going to help you as a designer of like, sticking with the need of the consumer, also sticking to the correct audience and what the client is looking for, and you're not getting off track. I also have been, I don't know about you guys, but I've been enjoying reading the Jurasec book, like the elements of design and the principles of design. Just because I feel like that's very, it's discusses like everything that we need to know in very simple terms. Where it's like Meg's, like it's more situational, I feel like, where this is like, um, I guess, like more definitions and more just lays out, okay, what does rhythm do? Like, how does that affect the balance? And then how does that affect like space? It's just like everything just is interconnected. So I really did enjoy reading that. Just because it outlines, I feel like everything that we need to know. And like I said, just more concrete, simple terms. In terms of the discussion we've been having though, I really do enjoy like just this Zoom thing because I feel like we could bounce ideas off of one another. And I get to hear like what you guys have thought so far about like what you've learned and then vice versa. So I think this is very constructive.
I definitely
If I
agree.
could,
Go
I
ahead.
agree. I agree. If I could add on to that, I
Mhm.
also like the Jurasek book because I feel like it's a foundation of like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. This is what it means. And it almost serves as like a guideline of some sort.
Mhm.
And yeah, I like how straightforward it is.
Mhm. For sure. I feel like I've like each time I read through it, I like add more to my notes. I
Right?
like how there's examples too of images. Like the like Megs is great because yes, there's like actual design and artwork alongside it, but I don't know, sometimes I feel like I get a little confused just with like all the names and like just the history of everything. But
Mhm.
with Durasec, it's,
Yeah, I relate to that.
yeah, it's like just formatted well, where it's like, okay, rhythm, boom, there's like, or pattern or texture, there's something on the
Mhm.
side that shows that. So it like clicks better because I definitely feel like imagery for me, it just helps me understand the material more. So I agree.
What about you, Heather?
Well, I feel I did the lecture on Monday. I was in the lecture and it really taught me a lot. I never really realized the connection that is so important with the lines and how to describe what lines you're using and the curvature of the lines and how it all matches with the shapes and then the texture. It just never really dawned on me that how everything had to be so connected. And watching him break down, I hadn't had my assignment in yet. Mine was not finished until later that day. And but I watched him go over, everybody else's, pretty much everyone else's, and it was so informative to me to really see that, and it gave me the ability to go back in, redo the look and feel, and to make sure that certain things like I was doing a Valentine's event, so in the hearts, and just to put in there that I'm actually using curves of the hearts. It just never really dawned on me that had to be that specific, that and then that had to match the shape, and then the texture and feel, I think I was always confused on that. I'm like, what do you mean texture and feel, of an event? What exactly are you supposed to do with that? It just always seems so lost with that. And so it really came to, with, and I think it was the rodeo was where it was, that it really dawned on me was that the dirt, that was a texture and feel. It's like putting the dirt in there. And I was like, well, they finally made sense, how you could bring it all together with the images and everything. So this is the first time that having a marketing degree, knowing the in-depth of how a campaign needed to be, and then having to readjust that a little bit here with these courses because like he says, we're not basing it on demographics. Well, where I'm from, that's all you base it on. I mean, you do use the psychographics, but the demographics are your number one. You are dead on with that. That is what's going to fuel your whole campaign about what you're doing. And so you just don't really take on this creative, side like this. So bringing the two together is amazing to see how it all works together and knowing both parts. I think that it fascinates me. I really lecture this week was awesome. And I mean, he's every single lecture going through our assignments. I wish we could do that every class as taking, I know it kind of picks on somebody a little bit, but at the same time, that it really just, it's great to take that. I don't think I've ever learned to take criticism so well. It's not even, just to have to have somebody tell me
Yes.
where I'm going wrong and being able to go back and fix it. And then being able to discuss it with you guys, it's really, I mean, like Mathew, you have really gone out there, with doing the media design. I've looked at and and then I'm really gaining, listening to you on how you're going with that part of your career and what you've done. That's amazing to me. And then I relate with
So,
Faith. I like it. I hear Faith talking and she, as well has the bachelor's in marketing and I can relate with that. And then Mo, I just want to make movies with you. I'm there. I'm ready. I'm just
yeah.
it's really great to meet with you guys and learn and go over our assignments. I would like to continue it in our classes that keep coming, even if it's not a part of our class. I think it would help a lot. Just even just to throw in one meeting if we could, just to be able to feed off of each other. I think it's really great to be able to discuss all this, and to I'm gaining knowledge, and I appreciate those critiques that we were doing in the beginning of one another's work. I appreciate it so much more now, talking and being able to, really, know where everybody's background is and working together on something. It's kind of awesome. I kind of hope that in the end that maybe we do get a project that they throw us all in there, and that we all have to do a certain part, and I won't miss a meeting. I swear I won't miss a meeting. I'll be there. I apologize for that, but I
Right.
mean, I think it's great. It's been a great learning experience, and I've really learned a lot. And I love, like, Matthew and Faith. I watched when he broke down in lecture, both of your look and feels. And it was really cute, Faith, because when you put your narrative in with the onlyness statement, and it was so cute watching him, just like he knew it right away. And I was like, yes, I agree. Yes, that is not her onlyness statement. It was,
Yeah.
yeah, both of your look and feels were great. And Mo, I saw yours, but I think he went over yours a little bit too early for me. I came in a little bit late to catch it all, but
Yeah.
it's been
It's
great working with
it's
you.
Yeah.
definitely cool seeing him go through each assignment, and being in class is very valuable. And I've noticed that only the club has been in class.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well, we're
yeah.
we're never there together, but it'd be cool if we all could get on one class together, you know what I mean? Because he
I'll
really
be
does break it
yeah, I'll
down.
be in class tonight at 6. So if
Yeah, I'll be
anybody
there at
else,
5. Yeah. I figured I wanted to catch the last one too, so I will be there tonight.
That's 3 o'clock for me, and I have to pick up kids all over LA, and I'm in traffic. But I will possibly catch the back end of it.
All right, yeah, I'll try to make it tonight as well. That sounds
yeah.
fun.
Cool.
Yeah, that'd be
So,
cool. And yeah, I'm definitely learning a lot, and you guys all inspire me. Um, Faith, you're very articulate. I love that. And
mhm.
Heather, marketing, man, that's amazing. You can do it. I love marketing aside of what we're doing right now, but it's helping me learn more marketing too.
All you got to do is open your eyes everywhere you go.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go, look at the names of the places that you see. I mean, there was a place where I lived this last time called Nothing Bundt Cakes.
I
I mean,
worked there.
just
Love it.
that
Oh,
just
word.
seeing that name, that is great. Right there, you can build off of that like no other. And I mean, everything, every ad I see, and from all right away, I'm like, no, that doesn't work. I'll hear a tune and the voiceover. I'm like, get that out of there. That's wrong. And I'm fortunate now. I've got a couple of ex stepbrothers, but they have businesses that are allowing me and I'm doing it for no cost at all, making a 30-second spot for them just to throw in my portfolio. And I'm seeing that now. I'm starting to see, okay, well, if I get those in my portfolio, any more that I want to do, I'm like, oh, I better start charging. I better start making, because I'm able to I really, did a good, I really enjoyed doing the 30-second spots, and I nailed both of the assignments, and I thought, okay, well, that's where I want to go. That's, now I know exactly what I
Mm.
want to do. So anything you see, Mo, just remember it. Remember it every single ad you see, because now you are going to be more critical than anything you've ever. I mean, all your friends, you'll be watching television commercials, and they'll be like, "What, over there, not even paying attention," and they are so important, because that's how you will. I mean, we know what we like. We know what other people like in our genre,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
it's marketing. It's the hardest thing is to adapt to the fact that we no longer are focused on how old our target
Mhm.
audience is, or how much. I mean, that's what marketing comes down to. We need to know what credit cards you're using, how much you're spending on those credit cards, how many kids you have, or how much you spend on dog food a month. That's, the marketing side of it, the demographic side of it, that's kind of, a little different, but
Yeah, I agree. It's like I have to rewire my brain and my mindset for it. But it is nice to have that foundation of it though, because a lot of like, at least there's some familiarity with this material in marketing. It's just like how you've been saying, it's just a different side of the brain. It's like
yeah.
all
Mhm.
creative.
Mhm.
With marketing, yeah, like there is some creative aspects to it that I learned, but it was very like surface level.
Yeah.
Like we learned some type of like color, psychology of like what color to use, but it wasn't as in depth as this, like with lines, shapes, forms. It was just, okay, well, McDonald's and Chick-fil-A and Wendy's, they all use red because red is like the color, to entice appetite. That was
Mhm.
it. That's like very surface level stuff that we learned in my marketing program. So yeah, it's pretty awesome to kind of bridge the gap between the two, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
Shows. Oh, go ahead, Matthew.
oh no, you could continue, Mo.
Oh, I was just saying, man, this is very exciting, and we're gonna have a good time learning together and preparing for our graduation and having all this knowledge to go forward with. It's just amazing, and yeah, I'm definitely excited. We love our teacher. He's he's very detailed, and that's what I like about it. And
Definitely.
so,
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
so
how you need to be too in the industry, like to better everything, right? Is to be super detailed. So I also enjoy that. Like I want the critique. Like I don't want
mhm.
just hundreds or whatever on everything. Like I want
Mhm.
someone to tell me, listen, like this is wrong. Better now
Yeah,
than when I'm working in the industry and
I was
and I
gonna
Yeah.
get
say,
fired for
wake up
something.
call. 30,
Yeah.
you get 30 credits in a master's program. You're now able to teach in college. I don't know if any of you know that, even without a teacher's degree, you get those 30 credits in your master's program. You now are capable. You can actually apply and do the same thing if you wanted to, even without working in the industry, if you learn it and have good enough grades. I was unaware of that and just, discovered that recently. I was like, well, that's kind of interesting, not that I
that's
want to be a
awesome.
teacher, but
Yeah. That's awesome because I would teach film for sure. I've
Hmm.
been doing it anyway. I started a brand a long time ago called uh Mo McCoy Film School, and I even made an improv movie called Film School to go along with it, explaining my process on how to make films. So this is definitely taking me to another level. Just having me as a even as a director and an actor is working for both. You know what I mean? So let's have some closing thoughts and because we're well beyond our 15 minutes and uh and let's get out of here. Starting with you, Matthew.
Okay. Yeah, so as my closing thoughts, how every part of the brand works together and how everything, should be coordinated and have a reason behind it to make the brand more cohesive and to communicate better with your audience. I think the best thing for us as creatives, because just of the field that we're in, is, critique and criticism. This is the best thing that we could do as, creatives is get together and, give each other a critique because fresh eyes is always the best thing when looking over a creative project because if you didn't catch something then your peer will catch it, your colleague will catch it, and even if there is a bunch of critique coming your way, now you get to put it all down and then digest it and see really what should be changed and what needs to be changed. So I think as creatives, critique and criticism is the best thing that we can receive from our colleagues and our peers, because if there's nothing to be said, then it's either really bad or really good. But when there's nothing said, it's like, okay, we have a problem.
Hmm. Yeah, critiquing for sure. And going along with that, connecting it to Heather, like I would love to continue doing these, like even if it's not every single week, but just like to have kind of like you said, more eyes on it. Just I know some people have more experience than I do too, so that could also be super helpful. Like Matthew, I know you have a bachelor's in graphic design, so like you have more of that foundation that I may be lacking. So even just like passing things over of like, hey, like this is what I've created so far. Like, is there anything that you would recommend, Um,
Mhm.
even if it's just side projects, what have you, I definitely think that would be helpful overall. And yeah, I mean, I don't get offended easily, so you can really say anything. But yeah, I definitely feel like this has been a great time. So thank you to everyone that, with what we've come up with so far. I enjoy seeing your guys' work and I'm excited to see how much we grow throughout the rest. I mean, we're basically halfway done with it. So
I- wow.
I know it's crazy how quick time's going.
That's
Yeah, I mean, I would love to meet up with you guys, like even in these next classes, once a week, even if it's for, 20 minutes and we all discuss. Because yeah, I'm completely open to like critiques and looking at each other's work and just seeing how each other's doing throughout the class, especially if we get stuck on something or if we didn't totally understand a concept, we can discuss it. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm open to that. And like I have projects that I've done for freelance, projects that I've done freelancing for companies. So yeah, I'd love to bring that to the table if you guys want to see examples or if you guys want to see what I've done. Like I'm completely happy to I'd be so open to that.
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely. Yeah, that'd be cool. All right. Well, my closing thought is I think that it's quite awesome that they have chosen us for this group in a way that we have two young brains and we have two older brains. I hate to even point that out, but the fact is it's harder to learn as you get older. I mean, I've got a brain full of, all sorts of stuff, and that's including everyday life. And seeing the fresh minds that the two of you have, it's amazing. And then Mo, I mean, I feel you. You got kids running all over the place, and I mean, thank God I'm done with that part of it. But that's still it's a so I just really I appreciate the young brains, the young thoughts. You guys really are more settled in the trends of today, and I kind of have to open my mind up to that. Where I'm still, I'm 50 years old, and I have a 50-year-old brain that and I brought it back to school, and when I first started with my bachelor's, I didn't think I was going to be able to even I wasn't sure where I was going to go with it. I knew I wanted to have a career, and do something, but I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to be able to learn and if I was going to be able to go back to this, brain that I had when I graduated high school 30 years ago. And I'm thankful that, my intelligence is still there, but I have a lot more going on up here. And so I think that it's great to have the two, the representative two different sides of the age group because it really brings a lot to the table. I can see I just see a lot, of differences. But at the same time, I feel like that when it comes to critiquing that we can definitely point out a different view, a different, because we represent different target audiences altogether. And I think that helps. I think that's amazing in this group. I
Hmm.
think that, there's a certain areas of this career that I'm not going to go and a faster brain, somebody that's going to run out there and go get and nail it. I'm more going to sit back and be somebody that's going to take more remote positions, freelance. I'm going to not, I'm not out there running, fast, but I am grateful to be able to see just how fascinating your work, Faith and Matthew. It's great, it's coming from this more of a turning brain. And then, Mo, I'm not going to point out directly some of the things I think about your work because I think that, a lot of it is it's just I'm just astounded by all the areas that you've had. You got a lot of hats on, buddy, and that is awesome. And I do respect that. I
Yeah,
really do respect. I've been checking out your
thank
Facebook.
you.
I'm following you now. So,
Oh
and I think
yeah.
that that's pretty amazing that you have accomplished everything that you have it so far. It's awesome to me. So
Yeah.
I appreciate where you're all coming from. It's really amazing that I'm glad that we got this group. I really am for everybody. I guess I was nervous when they put us in groups because I knew the faces I had seen already in class, and then those that I hadn't seen at all. And so I'm grateful to have already, to get the group of people that were already there that had been present and already learning, from there, and that made me happy. So
That's
Well,
great.
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. All right.
Yes, thank you, Heather.
Yeah, so we're gonna close out and this is the club and we're gonna keep meeting and we have a text group so we can text each other. I'm having a blast. I'm having fun. I always want to learn. I'm a student before anything. And then, I'm gonna make some more movies and I'm in Hollywood now, so this is where they made them at. So, just trying to immerse myself in everything that it is. You know what I mean? So everybody have a
Hmm.
Yeah.
great day and Full Sail University, we're out of here. Peace.
Thank
You
you.
guys
hey.